Welcome to this week's On the Water Northeast Offshore Report, brought to you by SiriusXM Marine. So last week we had a lot of questions about how Hurricane Lee was going to affect the fishing. Turns out that storm was not that big of a deal, thankfully. It kind of spared us here in the Northeast. People were back fishing as early as, I want to say Sunday. People were fishing. We're at least getting out for giants for the last day of the September quota, and plenty of giants were caught. That is currently closed, so if you're going out catching any bluefin tuna over 73 inches, that's all catch and release for the rest of the month. But that fishing was very good. Guys getting them on mackerel, bluefish, live squid, and the bite was happening Cape Cod Bay, Stellwagen Bank, off Block Island, Rhode Island. Guys going out off New Jersey have even been seeing some fish into like the 400, 500 pound range. So plenty of giants around, but that's going to be all catch and release for the next couple weeks. One thing that did seem to happen after Hurricane Lee passed is we started to see more recreational sized bluefin tuna move in to Stellwagen Bank, to the Provincetown area off Cape Cod. I know a friend of Anthony's was out looking for a giant tuna on Sunday, and he said he fed live baits to 6 or 7 recreational sized fish. He said he was marking small tuna all day. They were eating his baits while he was looking to get that giant. He did eventually get his giant, but he said the fish were out there pretty thick. Looked like it would be possible to jig them up. Stellwagen especially is one of those places where if you can find good concentrations of tuna, that RonZ is going to be your best friend. That big 10-inch RonZ is one of the best tuna baits all throughout the coast, but it was designed and developed to be fished kind of in that Provincetown, Stellwagen area. I know that's where Ron Poirier and Bobby Rice really developed that bait. So hopefully those fish settle in for a while and there are no rush to leave, because they could be there through November. If the feed-in is good for them, they won't be in any rush to leave us here on the Cape. South of Cape Cod, off Rhode Island, we thought that storm was going to flush out all the yellowfin tuna, maybe move them back to the canyons. Looks like that didn't happen. I know guys still got into yellowfin this week, but it looked like it was a little bit heavier mix of bluefin. I saw some reports from Captain Kevin of Blue Line Charters out of Watch Hill, Rhode Island, and he had, I think he said it was kind of like an all-time day he had on Thursday. They went out, great jig bite. I saw they got a couple on dead stick jigs, so just kind of putting the rod in the rod holder, letting the rocking of the boat give the jig action as it drifts. Caught some tuna that way. It sounded like all the whole crew went home with tired arms, so a great day with bluefin tuna. Stavros Viglis out of Martha's Vineyard said that the bluefin tuna had moved a little bit closer after the storm. So instead of it, kind of pushing the fish out of that south of the vineyard area, fishing Tuna Ridge, fishing the Suffolk, Ryan's Horn. I didn't hear anything about the dump. It sounded like the fish had actually moved inside of that area. So he got them on the jig. So it sounds like that bite was really good. The bad news for all of this is that we have a week of major wind coming. It's going to be a washout through the weekend. It looks like it's going to be blowing 20 all week out of the Northeast. That's going to build up the seas. So kind of bad news for the tuna fishing, or at least for getting out there. I mean, that is the double-edged sword of the fall. You have fish around in numbers. The bait's abundant. There's tons of them. They're hungry. They're eating like crazy. But then that weather's going to keep you from getting to them. One interesting note, since we're all going to be stuck on land for the next few days, it looks like, there was actually a multiple mahi-mahi taken out of the surf on Nantucket. That's really cool. It's just another one of the instances of these kind of unusual fish being caught this summer, caught close to shore. We had the tarpon off South Cape Beach back in August. We've got some mahi in the surf. Kind of a weird year here in the Northeast, but pretty interesting. The boats that got out to the canyons since Hurricane Lee passed found good fishing for yellowfin tuna. There were some swordfish. I know the head boats have been doing really well. Hudson Canyon's been hot. Some of the canyons up toward New England are holding fish as well. It's the best time of year for the canyons. That bite won't be going anywhere. The head boats from New Jersey and New York, Long Island, they'll be running through October. They'll run trips into November. I know the Helen H runs tuna trips through October. So even though we're losing what looks like 5 or 6 days of prime dates here in late September, October, if we get good weather, those fish will still be there. The fishing will be excellent. That chunk bite should only be getting better as those tuna move, those yellowfin that were inshore, push back toward the canyons. You'll have big numbers of them. They'll be responding well to chunks, biting more at night. Overall, I'm going to keep this report short this week. It is Striper Fest weekend. If you were in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, or you're up for a road trip, Striper Fest is happening tomorrow, Saturday, September 23rd at Falmouth Marine Park. Doors open at 12 o'clock. Runs till 6 when we give away a boat to one lucky Striper Cup entrant. But we're going to have seminars. We've got hot food, cold beers, live music. It's going to be a great time. If you're in the area, it would be great to see you there. I'll be there. Chris Mean, the whole On the Water crew will be there working the event. It's always a great time year after year. Until then, keep your fingers crossed for some light winds and fair seas and a chance to get out and catch all these tuna that are feeding so heavily right now from Massachusetts on down to New Jersey. It's going to be a great fall. We just have to be able to get out and get them.